Okay, Dr. Bob's episode. What's going on, Roger, with Dr. Bob's car? It's out of the fab shop and it's in this area now.
It's over here. This is kind of where we do our light duty fab. It's not as messy. Had some other cars that were going in there. So this car's ready to start getting just the mock-up of the plumbing. We know where everything's going to go on these cars because we've done them, so we don't have to do as much. There's a few things that come in with the unibody chassis, the rear lower seat pan we've got to develop, just a few parts and pieces like that. We've got our prototype hood vent that we're working on, but it's not going on Bob's car. So it's just something we've been developing for higher horsepower cars. We wanted to test fit it on here. We wanted to see what it looked like with a car that had stripes on it. So it's just kind of taped on the car as something that we would maybe eventually sell, that a guy could cut into his hood, but also something that you might even be able to put on a painted hood. It's kind of what we've been looking at. So just got everything in here, dash bars in here. A gauge cluster that we have is set in here, not Bob's gauge cluster, because we're getting close to machining all the gauge clusters. The GM soft latches are all installed and working.
I just felt that. That is crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
That is a totally different feel. So just to be clear what he's talking about here, we've showed it in a previous video, but this has, this latch assembly has no rods in it. It is a cable driven.
It's cable driven. And so we put the GM latch in here, and we put the updated striker in there. Everything else is kind of sitting in the car. So
what?
Most of that noise that you're hearing is
the car,
just the door panel inside.
Yeah, there's nothing.
But it shuts so solidly.
Once it's finalized with everything, man, that's going to be nice.
Yeah. So I think that's going to become a standard thing on all the cars.
Yeah.
So we've devised a way to put it in for the stock handles. Josh Sanders said he would put it in his new pull handles that he's got coming out for the Chevelles.
Oh, okay, so I saw that.
Yeah, so he's devised a way to put the cable into that as well, because he's got those ones that pull, and so that's pretty slick. We're going to try those on a car as soon as the customer wants to go that direction.
Okay. And then here's that rear pan.
Yeah, the rear seat pan. Everything else we're just finishing up. Once everything is fitted to the car, we'll just come in and finish all the little nuances. Now it's down to just little stuff. So we like to get everything kind of fitted, and that's what we're getting ready to do. And then this thing will go to paint to get painted red, black stripes, everything like it was.
Man, it's unbelievable how fast this has been coming along.
Yeah, I think we're 3 or 4 months from is it 3 months from a running, driving car out back, and to what we have here. So
and a huge significance of that. Well, a couple of different things. I mean, if this car didn't have to have sheet metal replaced, we would have been, quicker to this point. But a lot of that translated from the chassis, the unibody.
Yeah, just the speed of what it is. The new chassis speed up the process for us, make a better final product, just kind of make it go together quicker.
Yeah, I was talking to someone over the weekend, and he was like, yeah, I'm looking at an IRS chassis. I'm looking at, they sell a floor, so then I can, weld those panels into my current Chevelle. And I'm like, why not just look at
then you got a mini tub it, then you got a drive shaft tunnel in it, and there's just so many things that come into it. We're replacing the firewall to make that clean and have that a stamped looking piece. Transmission tunnels, everything that's in the car is integrated into this.
I equated what I told him was, remember when we were younger and we did model cars, and you would take the body of the model car and then you would glue it to the chassis and
or it would snap together with the try to get all 6 snaps in there.
That's literally what's happening here.
It's kind of what's happening.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
so, I don't know if that analogy is really
it's not quite that quick.
But if you come from playing with model cars and everything, I mean, that's essentially what you're doing in a fab shop.
But yeah, we've got everything else on here. Everything else is looking good. Engine bays all. So it's, got the air intake part. Cowl closeout panels, inner fenders are mounted. AC stuff's all mounted. Everything's kind of set up in the car. So we're gonna get ready to start stripping the original red off these other parts, get those ready for primer, and just get everything ready to go. The car will leave to go to paint with the engine out so they can bodywork and paint the firewall, and that'll all get done as one assembly. So,
and let's bring up again, as you know, some people have been following along or whatnot, but the Legacy Series Chevelle is a complete production car that you are building here at the shop, but you're also designing Chevelle parts, Legacy Series product, which include the mirrors, the steering wheel, some of these vent covers, the wheel wells. That's another good one too as well. Explain to us the wheel well situation.
I mean, the wheel wells just give you more clearance at the lower ride height with wider wheels, everything that comes with a lowered chassis. Because really the limiting factor on an aftermarket chassis is the stock wheel tubs with the way they're shaped on the outside. So in the section inside here, and then how narrow they are inside there. And it's a tremendous amount of work to do all the sheet metal work to do that, to fit in there. And so we just devised a way to start making some low production fiberglass and carbon fiber inner fenders at the same time. So you get your fancy little light there. And
yeah. Let's look at the other side right here, because that one, those are not metal.
those are just regular fiberglass. We also offer carbon fiber if a guy wants to leave them exposed. We figure it saves us roughly 60 hours of metal fab easily.
Wow.
And so those are Ring Brothers hood hinges, LT4 motor, Wagner front drive system on here. Everything else is just...
But everything is designed to clear. You got a brake booster there. You're maximizing full tire coverage without colliding with other parts inside the engine.
Those inner fenders are about as close to that brake booster as you can possibly get.
Yeah.
Like it's really tight. And so just getting everything in the car is a feat in itself.
And so, you know, if you're a guy at home, you're like, oh, I could build my own car. Okay, that's great. But if you're lowering the car, the stance, and you have big wheels and tires, and you need all that room for the tire and wheel to, you know, compress and turn and all that stuff, instead of shipping your car to a fabricator if it's beyond your skill and leaving the car somewhere for months, or taking the months out of your own time, you can just buy these.
Yeah, I mean, let's say you get Saturdays and you can put in a 10-hour day. Like, it's probably still going to take you 6 weeks to get them all moved. And like, that's just 6 weeks later that you're on the road. And, and so we're just trying to make stuff really that will give you the best results, speed up the process, and allow you to keep a lot of the stuff that is known for these old cars. You know, the mirrors that we have, the legacy mirrors, those things work. They work great. Like the billet dashes, they're expensive, but they solve all the problems of the plastic dashes.
Yeah.
Like, we're just trying to solve all the known problems in these cars so that you can keep the timelessness of everything else, but also speed up the process of just getting it built.
So the reality of people that are following these videos are just enthusiasts because they want to see what's going on inside the shop. But then you have another side that are looking for inspiration and design characteristics to try to implement into their own build, which is great, because not alone that you're showing them these different design characteristics, they can go to your website and purchase some of this stuff.
Yeah, and the solutions that we're selling on these, you know, high dollar Chevelles are also the solutions you can use on your own home built car.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you're like, hey, I can't do the unibody chassis and I can't do some of this other stuff, but man, those mirrors are slick, and man, that, you know, those cowl closeout vents, and man, my engine gets pretty hot under the hood. Those vents would be helpful. You know, the JW speaker lights, you know, things like that, of just installing better lights in the car, doing things like that really just makes the process easier and your end results better.
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember back when I first saw you building Greg's OG Chevelle.
The OG.
And being in awe what you guys conquered with that car, and now 14, 15 years later, we're at a full production car.
Yeah, no, and it's amazing to see kind of where it's come and how quickly they can progress from a running driving car that arrives here to you know, a car in the fab shop and progress its way through to get out to here.
Okay. Well, this is a update episode for Dr. Bob's Chevelle, but we do have some news of the other Chevelle.
Yeah, number 6 got adopted last week. So a gentleman from Washington named Chris is now taking this one on as his own, making the decisions for colors and interior and things like that. He's going to run the same engine and drivetrain package and everything that's in it. And out back, we've got 2 more donor Chevelles. One's slated for a chassis that'll be here in a month or so, number 8. And we picked up another donor Chevelle on Saturday, number 9. And that 5 chassis should start arriving in the next 3 months.
So realistically, the lead times are going to be
starting to shorten up.
Well, as long as they don't get all sold.
As long as they don't get all sold. So, I mean, our goal really is
but,
still
I mean,
to maintain.
Your goal is to sell them, but
our goal is to maintain. I don't want to sell 100 of them.
Sure.
Like, there's a point where we're going to shut it off.
Sure.
There's a point where we're just trying to do 5 or 6 a year. We want to maintain the quality. We want to maintain all those types of things for it. I don't want to take 7 years. Take your deposit for a car in 7 years. Like, some of that's ridiculous.
I mean, if someone sees this and they're like, okay, I'm sold, sign me up. It's not like you're showing these and documenting them and then saying, oh, we have a 2-year wait time on them. I mean,
before we even start.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now this is cool that, I mean, today, I mean, let's just say in just as of right now, if someone was ready to pull the trigger beyond these cars on number 8, car, what kind of, I mean, if someone pulled the trigger a year,
it's
done,
12
like
months.
Actually
12
delivered
months.
and going
depending
home and
on the delivery frame of the next chassis, whether you have a donor car or we are supplying a donor car, kind of some of those things, that's where it all comes together.
Yeah, it sounds crazy, but you check around and you just can't get these cars.
Not that quick.
Not at this stage. I mean, a complete car, you can go
and
down.
Not this level. Not
you
this
can
level
go
of
to the
complexity.
auction and go and buy one, not this car, but buy a car. But
yep.
If you want something like this, no matter it's here or somewhere else.
And the other part is you have an idea where the price is going to end up. Because we start out with a base price of what we talk about on the car, and everybody gets excited and adds some more stuff. And so we just take a deposit on the basis of this is where the base price starts at, and then any additional stuff as we go through is calculated from there.
And can I bring up too that because we haven't seen it yet, but you do have some renderings of some more modern touch, like
we do. Those are coming. The number 8 Chevelle had a wider IRS and things like that, and everybody seems to be gravitating towards having a narrower rear IRS and trying to keep the timelessness. And so we just haven't pulled the trigger on doing a modern one until someone's ready to go on it.
And when I say modern, I'm talking about, something that's got a newer style paint scheme on it.
Yeah, the lower front valence is different.
Yeah.
The hood's different because we'd make the hood out of carbon. It's got monoblock wheels, a lot of stuff like that we would kind of modernize up. We probably would put a little different style mirror on it. Just do some stuff where it's still obviously a Chevelle, but it's just has a little bit more modern styling.
Yeah. So, well, I'll probably throw up a couple renderings of those, but I just wanted to throw that out there because, if someone's, they love the flavor of a Chevelle, but they're like, I'm not into the stock look. I want something more modern. Well, you can do it.
We got that too. And that's what we're trying to do, where you can maintain the same platform of everything that's good, but make the car where it's just a little more modern.
Sure.
You can modernize the seats a little bit. You can change some of that. We've had different ideas of stuff to do on the interior, just things like that really keeps the bare bones all the same, but you can bolt on and make it just a completely different vibe car.
Okay, so I want to buy one of these cars. I want to get my name on one of these cars. How do I get a hold of you?
Just go to my website, email us, answer a few questions from there, and it'll lead you right where, right to the right person. We can get you handled. We usually email you back the same day.
So basically the route that Chris took, and here he is now the new owner of this one.
We exchanged 12 emails with him, talked with him a few times on the phone, and he was ready to go.
Okay, and he said he almost like knew you because he watched all the videos.
Felt like he knew me, which I felt sorry for him.
Well, it's a great thing that we get to show these off, and it does, there's a lot of people sitting at home and they're like, I like that, I like what they do, and they see like pictures and stuff, but these videos are a taste of what's going on inside the shop on a regular basis, and you know, just you as a person, you know, and let alone everyone else inside the shop. So
well, thank you very much. Have a good day.
See you guys on the next one.